everybody, and welcome to episode 81 of Crunch Time with the N326 duo. I am your host, Sam Godsey, and with me today, as always, is my guy, Tanner Dislin. Tanner, how are you doing today?
I tell you what, man. All things considered, I am doing pretty well. As Sam drops his microphone,
That's tough.
make sure you're watching the video so you can see him
That's tough.
drop his microphone there. But I'm doing pretty well, man. We should be. The discourse over the weekend should be about the four best teams in football laying it out on the field, but instead we're in this unfortunate situation with controversy, which we will get to very soon in the episode. And of course, anytime Philly wins, I lose. So I'm a little bit upset about that, but we'll deal. We'll deal.
Yeah.
And we got our Super Bowl matchup set, man.
Yeah, Bengals. Tough.
Nice.
Chiefs. Eagles. Gonna
There
be
you
a good
go.
one. We will talk about the NFL Conference Championships, but we are gonna kick it off with some winners and losers on episode 81 of Crunch Time. Tanner, who's our first winner of the episode?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it over to the hardwood for my first winner. I'm going to go with Patrick McCaffrey. Now, we talk about it all the time on the show here that both Sam and I are Iowa fans and Iowa graduates. And Patrick McCaffrey is a player on the Iowa basketball team. Earlier in the season, about a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, he decided to take a leave of absence from the team because of some anxiety he was feeling. And that's a really difficult thing to do. When you're a Division I player, you feel like a lot of people are counting on you. You don't want to let the fans down. You don't want to let your teammates down. And Patrick McCaffrey just happens to be the coach's son, so
Yeah.
he's got that added wrinkle in this complex relationship with everybody involved in the team. And it's really difficult to take that step back. And he should be commended for having the courage to do so. But this past weekend on Sunday, I believe, it was on Sunday. Iowa welcomed Rutgers into Iowa City, and Iowa won the game 93-82. And Patrick McCaffrey actually got some minutes in his first game back since the leave of absence I mentioned. And he played a really nice game. He only played 13 minutes, and he had 9 points, including 3 for 3 from beyond the arc and 3 for 5 from the field. So really efficient in terms of shooting percentage, really efficient in terms of output versus minutes. So that is critical, man, because his play, which he was didn't play very well to start the season, probably due to the said anxiety. And if he can, come back at full strength, have his mental right, and be a key contributor to this team, and look like the Patrick McCaffrey that helped Iowa make it to and win a Big Ten tournament championship, that's a whole new level for this Iowa team because they just really need help on the offensive end other than Chris Murray, and he can do that if his mental's right. So shout out to you, Pat, the courage it took, and coming back and looking all the better for it.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, whenever a athlete kind of takes a leave of absence, especially mental health, it takes a lot, especially in Patrick McCaffrey. You said one of our main guys on the team, coach's son, kind of almost a face right next to Chris Murray when thinking of Iowa basketball this year, and to kind of take a step back and realize, hey, my mental health isn't where it needs to be. I'm gonna take a quick leave of absence and get right. And it looks like everyone was happy to have him back. It's good to see him back on the court. Looks like he's ready to be back, ready to kind of hone in on this last couple months of Iowa's basketball season and contribute, as we saw in his short time on the court on Sunday.
Totally. And when he came back, a huge standing ovation from the crowd at Carver Hawkeye Arena. So shout out to the Iowa fans, showing support and much needed support when I feel like, some fans could have easily taken a lower route in him leaving the team. But the support was great to see from Iowa fans. He's back. He, like you said, looks like he's ready to contribute, and that cannot be understated how important that is for this Iowa basketball team as they push towards March.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Patty Mack back on the court. and let's finish the season strong.
I like the sound of that. I mean, kind of a weird jumble in the Big Ten right now. You've got
Purdue.
Purdue. I mean, number one team in the
Yeah.
country right now. Then you've got Minnesota, who's easily the worst team in the
Yeah.
conference, and then you just got like two through what 13
Mhm.
is just like all within a
Yeah.
couple games of each other.
Yeah, it's
Crazy
crazy.
alignment in the Big Ten right now.
Yeah. But good to have Payne Mack back on the court. Definitely deserving of the one winner of the episode. The other, obviously, another wholesome moment we saw this past weekend. DeMar Hamlin
Mm.
posting the
So
video.
wait, you're telling me he's
He
actually alive?
he's actually alive.
The NFL couldn't figure out a way to pay off his family, his friends, his teammates, the announcers, everyone
Yeah.
involved, the doctors.
Sports put nope.
Oh
They
wow,
couldn't.
that's weird. Do you find
Yeah.
that weird? I find that weird.
I think everyone finds it a little weird. I'm not gonna lie. But yes, DeMar Hamlin is back. Posted a video on social media basically telling everyone thank you for the support. Couldn't have done it without you, all the medical staff. So yeah, he's back, recovering. It's just kind of funny, almost just like the initial reaction to him being back
I
and
mean,
not wanting to interview after almost dying a couple
weird.
weeks ago.
Yeah. Hey Sam, tell us about the time you almost died.
Yeah,
Go. Uh, and it's almost like he endured 10 minutes, almost 10 minutes of CPR, which probably resulted in some broken
yeah,
ribs or fractured ribs or something, and that takes the physical toll.
yeah,
And I mean, not to mention the fact that he's probably immunocompromised from almost dying. So he's probably going to want to keep people away and
yeah,
cover his face and whatnot. And it was really cold at that game.
yeah. Being in a hospital for I don't even remember it like a week or so. I
Probably
think.
probably takes a toll
Yeah.
on you physically. What do you think?
Yeah.
And you're not most willing to go on camera. And also one more thing, I got to show this. I mean, it's what is it? Geometry, angles.
Yeah.
See, this is a heart. Yeah, do it with me, everybody. Look at the video. For those of you who are not on YouTube, go on the video. We're gonna do an experiment here. Ready, heart, and then pretend like you're looking up into the press box and just tilt it up.
Tilt it up.
What does that look
Tilt
like? That looks like a triangle. But guess what? It's a heart. Triangle, heart.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
crazy. Who would have thought?
I don't know. Who would have thought?
But all jokes aside, it is good to see DeMar interacting with the fans. And another thing I want to say about the whole clone thing was from like all the stories we heard about who this dude is, his personality, he doesn't seem like a guy that wants all the attention on him. So yeah, of course. So he doesn't want to get deathly ill. It's cold as shit. He doesn't want to talk because he probably has a bunch of broken ribs from 10 minutes of CPR. And he's just not that kind of
He
guy that
doesn't want
wants
to
all the
talk because
attention.
he doesn't want to talk. That's
Yeah.
just not him.
Yeah. But so Pay Mac, DeMar Hamlin, two great winners of the episode. Now, Taylor, let's talk about the losers of the episode. What you got for me?
I tell you what, Sam, I'm just going to go back to my roots a little bit. My loser of the episode is New York City. For those of you who don't know, New York City decided to light up probably its most iconic
Yeah.
landmark in the city, right? The Empire State Building. New York is the Empire State. The Empire State Building, absolutely iconic on that skyline. They love to a while ago they installed some lights and they love to light it up with some things that are going on, red and green for Christmas. And when sports teams do well, they like to put those those colors on
And,
on the on the building.
and what
But
what lights did they shine?
but the thing is, it has to be New York sports teams because they decided it was a good idea to make the Empire State Building green and white for the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, uh-huh. I can't even begin to describe how bad of an idea this is. First off, they're just a division rival. I mean, how insane is
Yeah.
that? Second off, they are like in one of the biggest like city rivalries.
Yeah,
New York
right?
and Philadelphia do not mix.
Mhm.
No New Yorker roots for Philadelphia in like anything. In anything.
Yeah,
Similar with Boston. New York and Boston don't mix. Boston and Philadelphia don't mix. New
yeah.
York and Philadelphia don't mix. But not only is it just a division rival, not only is it a city that is a big rival of your city, it is the division rival that knocked a New York
Yeah.
team out of the playoffs.
I didn't even think about that.
What sense does this make?
There
Such
isn't.
a big lose. I tell you what, my tinfoil hat take is that they installed the green and white lights for the Jets, and they were just
Yeah.
like, you know what, we got to make sure they work. So we'll put them up there, and if they work, we'll say it's for the Eagles. But if they don't work, no one will know.
No one will know.
No, so that's my tinfoil hat take is that they
There
were
we
just
go.
testing out the Jets lights. But my God, that is
So
one of the
bad.
worst looks from a city has ever had, ever had.
Yeah, and of course, a bunch of New York sports personalities were like, "What the
The
hell?"
hell? And it's one thing, New York sports teams tend to have a dominant and submissive sports team.
Yeah.
The Giants are the ones that hate the Eagles. Jets and Eagles,
Mm. Yeah.
whatever. The Giants are by far the dominant sports team in New York.
Yeah.
Most of New York are Giants fans.
Yeah.
It would have been one thing if it was like the Patriot. You put up the Patriots, and then it was the Jets fans who were mad. And it's like a
Yeah.
smaller percentage of the population. Still bad, still
Mm.
bad. But this is the large majority of
Yeah.
your population are fans of this team, and they got knocked out by a division rival. And you put their
Yeah.
colors on the most famous landmark in the city as they make the Super Bowl. That is crazy.
And
Someone needs to be fired over it.
and obviously we have a fellow New Yorker right here. But like even I know that's dumb as hell. Like
So
Philly
dumb.
Philly and New York, like you said,
They
do
don't
not
get
like each
along.
other.
They do
They
not get
never
along.
have and probably never will. But yeah, wild. Wild.
So dumb.
I r- I thought it was like a Photoshop.
Like a joke or something.
Yeah.
I double checked to make sure, like, clicked on to make sure they weren't subscribed to Twitter Blue and
Yeah.
that they're actually like verified. Like, oh my God, this is
Yeah.
real.
Uh-huh.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was something.
So bad. It's honestly one of the biggest L's the city of New
Mm,
York has ever taken. Like,
yeah.
there's no coming back from that. You are so like just I don't know what the right word is, but you're so
Mm.
bad. You're so bad that you congratulate the team that beat you, who is your rival. I cannot I'm getting mad
Yeah.
talking about it.
It's so
And I'm
dumb.
not even a Giants fan.
Yeah, wild. I will never be able to comprehend that decision, but I think my loser of the episode might rival yours, and that is just referees in general. A
Rough
lot
weekend
of
for
L's.
referees.
A lot of L's. Obviously, the first kind of viral moment of refereeing gone bad was Lakers versus the Celtics.
Just a round of applause for Patrick
Ref-
Beverly. What a moment.
clap it up for
What
our
a
man,
moment.
Woo Pig. But obviously, we are talking about late in the game. LeBron goes up for I believe his third quarter, late in the game. I don't.
I'm pretty sure that
Or,
layup was like one of the last possessions of the game
was it?
because it was tied. It was tied at
Okay,
105, and I
that'd
think it
make
was
a
one of the
lot
last
more sense
possessions.
because of LeBron's reaction.
Yeah. Mhm.
So I'm a roll with it was super late in the game, and y'all have seen the clip. If you haven't, what are you doing? And how did you find our podcast? That's why I
Yes.
want to know. But obviously, it was very clear. I don't think anybody can debate this. Jason Tatum hacked the
Yeah,
shit
clear
out
foul.
of
Clear foul.
no
Totally.
call. LeBron has given terrible call, terrible no call. But LeBron, come on, bro. It wasn't that. It's bad, not
I
atrocious.
tell you what,
To-
I don't care. He could have gotten tackled,
I
and
know.
that would have been a massive overreaction. I mean, as any sort of goodwill that he had, which obviously it's hard when you're LeBron to get that sort of goodwill, but he just lost everybody as soon as he reacted the way he
Yeah.
did. Like it's like, yeah, that was a foul, but you don't deserve a foul if you're doing that, bro. Like it was just wow.
Yeah. And of course, the memes that came with it just added to the fun of it. I mean, if if you haven't seen it, please go on Twitter. It is hilarious. And then we'll kind of talk about this one later. Um, the refs in the Chiefs Bengals game.
I tell you what, Sam. Before we get go before we move on to the other bad refereeing, sticking on to basketball.
Oh,
Um,
we forgot to mention the best part of the entire fiasco. That was Mr. Patrick
that was
Beverly.
the reason for our round
I
of applause.
know.
Refs are so bad we forget how to think.
Yeah. Of course. Again, if you haven't seen this, come on, bro. But Patrick Beverly, after LeBron's outrageous reaction, goes over to the media, grabs a photographer camera, pulls up a picture of the foul, and he shows the ref.
All-time technical. That is so worth it. I guarantee you, everyone on the Lakers like that technical was worth it.
So
That was
worth
an
it.
awesome technical. Again,
Yeah.
another round. Just
Clap it up for
remarkable,
clap it up for P
remarkable.
Bev.
Pat Beverly finds new ways to I mean meme himself
Yeah.
basically. It was awesome. It was awesome.
And if you want to get shout out the Pat Bev pod because they actually did an instant reaction to it.
Was he in
Like,
it? Was it like was it Ronan?
yeah, it's Roan and P Bev like a couple hours after the
That's
game.
so
So
funny.
check that out.
That is so funny. But
But
even before we move on, I think another thing because this is we're in the realm of just complete overreactions.
yeah.
LeBron acting like his entire family was slaughtered right in front of his face by Jack the Ripper. Then he goes up. Then the NBA because this has been a trend right late in the game for the Lakers and LeBron has expressed his frustration. There's some
Oh
screenshots
yeah.
that are pretty telling that late in the game the Lakers tend to not get
Mhm.
calls. So the NBA referees released a statement
Oh
to
yeah.
one up LeBron in the showmanship and overreaction. They said, like everyone else, referees make mistakes.
I play mixed
There
mistakes.
you go. See? Which fair statement. We made one at the end of last night's game, and that is gut wrenching for us. This play will weigh heavily and cause sleepless nights as we strive to be the best referees we can be. I don't know. I feel like this is an actual debate. Who overreacted more? The fact that the refs will lose sleep over
I
not
think,
getting that call right,
dude, I
or
think it's
LeBron falling to his knees in despair over
dude,
this,
I
this
think it's
call.
the NBA ref
That is so
Twitter.
funny. It is gut
'Cause-
wrenching, and they will have sleepless nights, dude.
So,
That's so
The
funny.
reason I go with the tweet is LeBron got caught up in the moment. It was immediately after the missed call, but this was like hours
Yeah, and
after.
also like this is a tweet. You could edit tweets
Yeah,
like before you hit
delete it.
send. We could be like, this is good. No, you know what? No, this is slight overreaction. Let's peel it back a little bit. No, they okayed it. They sent it, and it is still up. They did
Yeah,
not delete
they
it.
did not delete it. Wow. So
So good.
so that
So fun.
happens. I don't want
NBA
to
with a
go.
strong start.
I don't want to go too in depth in this one because I'm sure we'll talk about it. But there's another case for a terrible showing of referee.
I mean, I would argue that all day Sunday was a
This
terrible
is
show
true.
of
It
refereeing.
really came to fruition in
It had a
that.
bigger effect
Yeah,
in the
absolutely.
because of some other circumstances in the early cap that kind of
Yeah,
put
but
that game to bed very early.
we'll touch on that later. Let's save that one. But that kind of wraps it up for winners and losers. Any final thoughts for you, Tanner?
I don't think so. I still am completely in shock. I mean, we know the NBA is a drama driven
Oh
league,
yeah,
but this is just to a whole new level. It's drama in terms of, oh, I don't want to play with them anymore. Ooh, I want to demand a trade. No. This is like drama club. Like this is gut wrenching. I will lose sleep over that
yeah.
call. It's too good, man. You can't make it up. The NBA just always delivers in terms of drama.
Facts. Yeah. So that kind of wraps it up for winners and losers of the episode. Did we get it right? Where did we miss? Let us know. Before we get to NFL Conference Championship talk, I want to take a moment to thank Anchor for sponsoring this episode of Crunch Time with the N326 Duo. If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, is the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. We use Anchor, and that's why we are here today. Anchor has all the tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, they do the hard part for you. They distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And Tanner, best of all, Anchor is totally free.
That's huge. That big if true,
Big
Sam.
if
Big
true.
if true.
Big if true.
And
And it is
we
true.
can confirm it's true. So
So
definitely go ahead and download Anchor.
so download the Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started today. And we are back. Thank you again to Anchor for sponsoring this episode of Crunch Time. Tanner, let's hop right into it, my guy.
Let's do it.
NFL Conference Championship kicked off Sunday afternoon. Eagles 49ers. And boy, was this a snoozer.
It was a snoozer, man, for so many reasons. I want to know who had the ticket out there. Josh Johnson to lead the San Francisco 49ers in passing yards. I need to see it because it's really tough when you're already on your third quarterback
Yeah,
and he goes out and gets injured.
tough.
And then your fourth quarterback comes in. Want to take a guess what happened, Sam? He also gets injured. So then you have to go back to your third quarterback, who, by the way, the details have come out. He tore his UCL.
Yeah,
Do you know what that is, Sam?
not good.
So when you tear your UCL, it's a common injury in a different sport.
Baseball.
And you know what you get?
Pitchers.
That's Tommy John surgery.
Tommy John.
That's Tommy John.
Damn.
So right. So a quarterback, which the tear to get into, I'm no doctor, but from what I understand is that Tommy John is a restructuring of the elbow,
Oh,
and it looks like his tear is minor enough where they can repair instead of
okay.
restructure.
Nice.
So the recovery time is less than a pitcher would normally go
Yeah.
through when getting Tommy John, but still it's an injury that's associated with Tommy John, and he finished the game because they just did not have any other quarterbacks
Yeah.
on their roster.
That's tough.
That's tough. It is really freaking tough to win on the road in Philly.
Yeah.
And you don't have a quarterback who can throw the ball.
Yeah.
There's just you just can't do anything.
Yeah.
And
Not only did you not have a quarterback, you were also playing one of the NFL's best defenses. So mix that, it's an ass kicking, and that's what we saw.
Yeah, it totally was. And if you're the Eagles and your opponent has shown that they cannot throw the ball, and not even like our defense is so good that they're unsuccessful in throwing the ball. It's that they are not healthy enough. They do not have an individual who is healthy enough to throw a football on their team. And you're the Eagles. You have one of the best running games in the NFL. You already have a lead. I think with Josh Johnson in the game is when Christian McCaffrey broke off that run.
Yeah.
And made it 7-7. And then I think by the time he got his concussion and was knocked out, it was like 14-7.
Yeah.
And then Eagles scored again because if you're San Francisco, you're just completely deflated.
Mm-hmm.
No, if you're how do you get up to play if you're that defense, knowing that you just don't have a quarterback? So Philly was able to compound things, get a lead, and the other team can't throw, so you're not going to throw. Jalen Hurts obviously only 25 attempts and 121 yards because they were just not going to throw the ball. They didn't need to.
Yeah.
It contributed to it being an absolute snoozer.
Yeah, it was tough. This was the game I was like super hyped for.
Me too.
Totally. Does a rookie quarterback get to the Super Bowl? That was kind of the big thing.
The rookie quarterback make it out of the first quarter.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, was the question. And we got no. But Sam, Story of the weekend. We mentioned it before. Not much in terms of X's and O's that went into this game other than, what we just talked about, the
Yeah.
quarterback. We got to talk about the officials, don't we?
Yeah. Bad.
Namely, a critical fourth down on the first drive of the game. Jalen Hurts rolls out to his left and kind of in a broken play, throws downfield to Devontae Smith. He reaches up, makes that one-handed catch, kind of,
Kind
and
of.
brought it in. Philly hurries to the line, gets a playoff,
Yeah.
even though it was pretty clear he dropped it. What are your thoughts
It
about
was
that?
it was clear as day. The fact, I mean, this episode might as well be where refs effed up this week. Because that kind of kicked us off
The good,
on
the bad, the ugly. Two of those three are the refs, and it ain't the good.
yeah. It was bad. Yeah, I mean,
And
I just don't understand how you call that a completion.
yeah, which it's one thing if you call it a completion on the field, which they did, but they have this a newer position on the where you have a ref stationed in front of a monitor and is watching every play as it so you don't need to throw the challenge flag. You don't
Yeah.
need to initiate a booth review. It's someone while they're setting the chains, while they're
Mhm.
making the game move forward, there's someone watching and so they can make a call on the field before having to challenge.
Yeah.
And coaches are told that we have an official who's looking at that. So it'd be one thing if that didn't exist and the Eagles
Yeah.
just got it off and in San Francisco wasn't fast enough. But when Shanahan is told that someone is going to be looking at it, and that you might not need to throw your challenge flag, of course he's not going to do it
Yeah.
because he's told that there's an official that's going to look at it, and that's what should have happened. The story is that Philly got to the line so quick and snapped the ball that they weren't even able to look at the play from
BS.
the official, and complete BS.
BS.
The field officials need to stop the game. Then
Yeah.
you're literally telling him you don't need to challenge this because we have this replay official, and then the replay official doesn't get to look at it. You have to stop it. You
Yeah.
have to.
And
Critical. Absolutely critical.
I know how those replay systems work. It's not hard to go back 5 seconds and look at the play.
I mean, I think it was within the first two replays they showed on TV. We're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, no, that's incomplete.
Yeah,
Totally incomplete. It
yeah.
was clear as day.
Yeah, it was really bad, and then as the game progressed, it was just
And
a tough day.
and not to mention, I mean, I guess credit to Philadelphia for knowing the snap count so well, but there was a false start in every single play. Apparently, like it's one thing if just moving one leg out, if you're like one
Yeah.
of the tackles on the edge, moving one leg. I mean, if you slow it down, like Lane Johnson, the Eagles' right tackle, his
Yeah.
whole body was moving before the ball snapped, and no penalty. I mean,
Yeah.
the home field advantage in terms of the referees this weekend was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. Who's a like rules analyst for NFL?
Gene
Gene.
Steratore is the
Yeah.
CBS guy.
What I don't remember
He
what channel was it? I don't even.
the San Francisco Philly game was on Fox, so I think it was
Okay.
Dean Blandino.
Anyway, I
Either that or
know
Mike Pereira.
one of the rule analysts. They have said in the past that they do give them like a second or second and a half, like as the ball is snapped. But it's also when they were talking about that, it was due to like a delay of game. So it's
Yeah,
interesting,
and it's something that we've seen a little bit. We've seen some tackles on the edge get that extra
but every
step,
time that's
and
tough.
every single snap, man. And I saw it on Twitter. It was slowed down so you can see, and his entire body. It wasn't just one foot. It wasn't just getting wider to seal that edge. His whole body was
Mhm.
moving before the ball was snapped.
Yeah.
Clear false start. Of course, not going to get called.
Yeah. And so I just had the obviously Eagles took care of business. I don't even remember the final score was like 31-7, kind of what we expected once both quarterbacks went down. Um, does this affect the Eagles going into the Super Bowl? Like, cuz you're playing all these really good competitive games and then you kind of you gotta at least I think so. You kind of get lazy, aren't making the perfect blocks, perfect
when
routes,
when
perfect
when you've
plays.
outscored your opponents 69-14
Yeah,
in the postseason, do you
yeah.
become a bit lazy? I think that's definitely possible. Um, I mean, there has never been an easier path to a Super
Oh my
Bowl. It's just, of course, this is proof. This is proof. All you need to know that good things happen to bad people. The swamp rats that live in that
god.
filthy city that get
I
rewarded.
heard New York loves Philly.
Look, dude. Okay, just to go on a different tangent, New York got absolutely crucified for chanting, excuse my French, for chanting "fuck Trey Young." And it's like, oh, what a classless city. Philly constantly verbally and sometimes physically assaults family members, players, and fans of other teams. And they're just excused like, oh, that's just Philly. No, that's just being an asshole. And for some reason, the sports world is just like, it's okay. They're Philly, even though the trash people from the trash city, from the trash franchises, continue to have
Man.
good stuff happen to them, even though they are swamp rats.
I just heard Philly fans are the best here.
Dude,
That's
I
that.
guess if you consider assaulting family members of the other team the best, then sure. Then sure. You can call me soft. I don't care. But like I said, New York chanted fuck Trey Young one time and they were absolutely crucified. And Philly does it
Yeah.
year in and year out to family members.
Yeah.
And it's just okay. I don't get it. I don't
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah. So wrapping this game up, 31 Eagles, 49ers, 7. Kinda was a snooze fest, as I said earlier. Any final thoughts on this one?
Again, it's hard to win a game when you can't throw the football, and
Yeah.
that's now 4 quarterbacks got injured for San Francisco. I think they need to make a move, man. I think they really need to shore up that quarterback room, get someone who's worked with Shanahan before,
Yeah.
someone known to be really durable. Hasn't really gotten injured. Knock on wood, hasn't really gotten injured much in his career. Um, and I mean, he's not going to turn the ball over. Perfect game manager when you have all those weapons.
Yeah.
I mean, they run a lot of screens anyway, so it's hard to check it down when you've already got a screen in motion. Get me Kirko to San Francisco. I
He's
tell
worked
you
with
what,
the Iowa tight end.
dude, dude, dude. I'm telling you, this will work. He loves tight ends. Greg Kittle. Part of my takes came out. George Kittle, one of the
Go,
best in the game.
go.
Like so many weapons. Friendly offensive coordinator, like I said, and Trey Lance from the state of Minnesota obviously went to North Dakota State, but from Minnesota. That's all I'm going to say. It's too perfect, right? It's just too perfect.
Yeah.
And I think Shanahan actually wanted Kirk Cousins in San Francisco a few years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna, hey, John Lynch, look at me right here. John Lynch, you and I make it happen.
Nah, TV12's going to San Fran. You got it twisted. Some 12 is going.
Okay, okay.
Some 12 is going. That's all I know.
I don't think the Packers will deal him in the NFC. So I
Mm,
think if Rodgers going anywhere, he's going to the AFC.
I don't know
So
about
so
that.
okay. So let's say Tom Brady goes to the 49ers. Where does Aaron Rodgers go? The Jets?
Yeah.
Then Raiders. Hey, look at me. Make it happen. If Aaron Rodgers goes to the Raiders, reunites with Devontae, the Jets. Hey, look at me. Make it happen.
There you go. There you go. Oh my god.
Get him
Next.
off my team.
I don't know. Those checkdowns were mad impressive. Oh man.
I mean, I do want to. Now I feel like I'm going to get made as someone who thinks Kirk is bad. Kirk is not bad. He is
Yeah, he
not a
is.
bad quarterback.
Yeah, he is. Trust me, I have Kirk Cousins 2.0 on my team, so all right,
Let's go back to the championship games.
reeling back in. Let's move on to the referee ball game. Chiefs Bengals. Chiefs win 23-20. Tanner, what were your thoughts on this?
I tell you what, the first thing, that like Drake meme when it's like, something and then he goes, no, no, no. And then something goes, no, no, no.
Yeah.
Arrowhead?
No,
No, no.
no, no.
Burrowhead? No,
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 no.
no.
Referee head. Yeah, that's the one. Um, Obviously, the main story here is going to be the referees, and rightfully so. Um, all the questionable calls down the stretch. To be honest with you, I think I don't have a problem with what they did call. I have a problem with what they didn't call
Yeah.
because all the penalties on Cincinnati, going from most relevant onward, like the push out of bounds. That's that's a late hit, right? That is a penalty.
I Cincy fans are saying
I,
otherwise.
I I don't really know how you argue. I totally understand Cincy fans being very upset at the
Yeah,
referees.
no,
That one
for
I'm
sure.
not quite sure you can get away with. Um, and the intentional grounding on Joe Burrow, I thought that was intentional grounding.
Yeah.
But you flip it to the other side. Mahomes had like the exact same play
Mhm.
that was not called
Yeah.
intentional grounding. That was intentional grounding. Similarly, Joe Burrow had a play where he got rid of the ball. The Chiefs D lineman or linebacker took like 3 or 4 steps and then knocked him to the ground.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a crazy vicious play, but it was incredibly late and unneeded. Like
Yeah.
that's a late hit. On the last play where Mahomes scrambled, I think the left tackle is being circled as a hold. If you look at the all 22, I actually think it wasn't a hold. I think he was okay, but the right guard was an egregious
Oh my
hold.
god,
It
it's
was a really
bad.
bad
It's
hold.
really bad.
Left tackle, the way you paused it, it kind of looks like he's holding him. I don't think it was, but the right guard definitely held. The block in the back, I think that might be the most egregious miss of them all. Right in front of the ref,
Yeah.
someone's trying to turn the corner, and a Chiefs player just completely lights him up in the back. He even falls like you
Yeah.
would in a block in the back, and sure enough, no call. So I'm not upset with the plays that were called. I'm upset at the plays that weren't called.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. One instance in this game that just simply confused the shit out of me when the Chiefs are driving late in the game, they have a third down, run a play, and then it's 3rd and 9 again. And we didn't get any explanation. Romo was losing his shit. He was confused. I was confused. The whole world was confused. Was anything ever announced on that? Like
Yes. So we
I
got some
haven't seen
clarity.
anything.
The play before was an incomplete pass, and the clock ran.
Okay.
So they noticed it late. The back ref noticed it late, which his job is to keep the clock in mind, and he noticed it late. And right as Kansas City was snapping the ball, the ref came running in and blew the play dead.
Okay.
Well, no, sorry, didn't blow the play dead.
Didn't
Just
play
came
it.
in.
I I
He didn't
I
blow
did see
he
that
didn't
clip.
blow his
Yeah.
whistle, but
Yeah.
like he just
I
walked
did
in like
okay, I did
this,
see that.
and no one saw him. So two things can be true because if the clock was mishandled and he came running in to stop the play,
Yeah.
you have to redo the down because I mean, Kansas City receiver might have seen him do that and stopped
Uh-huh.
running. Like,
Yeah.
that's true. You have to replay the down, but you can also say that it was completely mishandled.
Oh yeah.
Like completely mishandled from the referee crew. That judge who runs in has got to be blowing his whistle. He's got to
Oh
be
yeah.
like almost like remember when Jair Alexander, or I don't remember who it was for the Packers. I think it was Jair, walked in and like smacked the ball away from the like. That's what
Uh-huh.
the ref's got to do. He's got to
Yeah.
come and smack the ball away. Or
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
see in
yeah, yeah, yeah,
basketball when
yeah.
they try and blow it dead, the ref like tries to block the shot
Oh
of the
yeah.
free thrower.
Yeah.
Like you got to get in there and just completely make sure that play does
Yeah.
not start. He completely mishandled it, and that is a problem. And you have every right to be upset if you were a Bengals
Yeah.
fan. And then of course the second third down play was a holding on Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Again, you watch the play, it was a hold. It is really, really sour to have that first down after the way they mishandled things and get a
Yeah.
first down on a penalty.
Yeah.
Really, really sour. Again, I do think that was a penalty, but still, that really hurts. And but that drive didn't amount to anything. They ended
Mhm.
up punting on the next series, but that's time. Like that's valuable
Yeah.
time, and things are so different if if that's actually fourth down and they have to
Yeah.
punt on the first series, and maybe Kansas or Cincinnati's playbook is a little more open. And then there's a similar kind of narrative from Chiefs fans after the intentional grounding call I mentioned.
Yeah.
because, on 3rd and 15 or whatever it was, he found um, Hayden Hurst for a first down. It's like, oh, it didn't matter. Well, that that's a play gone from the playbook.
Yeah.
Like obviously you're going to run your best play when you're 3rd and 15 or
Yeah,
4th and 15, whatever it
exactly.
was. So if that was an intentional grounding, or you called it the same way that you called the Patrick Mahomes example, then you save that play. Maybe you run a different play.
Yeah.
You get a first down on 3rd and 5 or whatever it was, and then you can save that play for later on in the game when you need it. So again, I Bengals fans have every right to be upset at the officiating.
Yeah,
Every right.
absolutely. It was bad. Obviously, one they are complaining about the Joseph Asai
Yes.
late hit, um, kind of winded down. Crucial play. Osai tackles Mahomes 5 yards out of bounds, and of course that pushes them into the game-winning field goal.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a
Yeah,
mistake that can't happen, but you're just heartbroken for the guy. I mean,
yeah.
people, he's not going to get his flowers because he's a linebacker and that's not a premium position. But I think his name's Joseph Asai,
Joseph
was
Asai.
one of the
Yeah,
best players on the Cincinnati defense
yeah,
all game long. And if you watched any sort of film or watched the game, you'd know that. I watch um, Emmanuel Acho put together a good clip of Joseph Asai being like the best player on the Bengals
yeah.
defense for the entirety of the game. Be
Mhm.
like, no possible way can you blame this game on him. He was so good
Yeah,
throughout this game. And he's 22 years old. Like,
yeah.
it's just if you watched his post game conference, which again
Mad respect.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah,
I mean, Matt, he gained so much respect
yeah.
from me. Just not that he cares, but seriously though, making such a big mistake, and I mean, you could see he was still very emotional from the mistake, from or sobbing on the bench
Yeah,
earlier, and answering questions and like, you know, taking it like a man, like he
yeah,
should, and that was, I mean, again, complete and utter props, nothing but respect to him for facing the media like that. Um, But you heard him say that he's just in full chase mode. He's trying to get there and see if maybe he can pull Mahomes back,
yeah,
get him moving backwards, like similar thing that happened to Dalton Schultz when they
yeah,
wound the clock, and obviously, kind of lost track of where he was on the field, how far out of bounds he
yeah,
was, and again, every single football player in the history of their life has made a mistake, and it's
yeah,
so unfortunate that his happens to be right then and there.
yeah. I mean, just a football player trying to make a football play. That's as simple as you can put it. I do want to give BJ Hill a lot of props.
I was gonna say we can do our own Bengals locker room
Yeah,
winners and losers.
honestly.
So winner,
Yeah,
BJ Hill.
BJ Hill. If you didn't see any of the press conference, BJ Hill, one of the Bengals, kind of stepped in and like said and kind of helped Joseph Asai get through the absolute grilling by
Yeah,
reporters.
yeah. I mean, he even you know said to some reporters like, "What the hell kind of question is that? Like,
Yeah,
this is a dumbass question." And again, such a good teammate to not only just him being there was the sign of a good
yeah.
teammate to show support, but then again,
Then to voice his
intervening
opinions on it, absolutely.
exactly. Now I'll take the loser then. So how to not react in this scenario? Surely you've all seen the video. Jermaine Pratt, another linebacker for the
Yeah,
Cincinnati Bengals, who yelled that this is my last year. Why are you touching the quarterback? As he walks into,
I think you forgot
yeah, I was gonna say the
expletive in
language is a little more colorful than
that.
I used, but he decided to voice his opinion, and I mean that's totally a prime example on how to be an awful teammate and how to
Yeah,
just be a really bad dude. I guess I understand the raw emotion after playing your heart out, playing with effort for 60 minutes and losing on a mistake by one of your teammates. But I would also like to point out that Jermaine Pratt, who is 6'3", 250 pounds, got absolutely bulldozed by Isaiah Pacheco earlier in the game on a key down and distance
yeah,
that gave up like 30 yards because he he got absolutely bulldozed by someone like 30 pounds lighter than him.
Yeah.
May want to make your own tackles before you go after someone else.
Yeah.
And especially someone like him, who again, so young, so inexperienced, and played so well. I cannot understate how good he was for
Yeah.
Cincinnati during the entirety of the game.
Yeah. And obviously, a lot of missed calls, a lot of mistakes. But it's got to feel nice seeing Eli Apple lose right there.
I tell you what, he hopefully Stephon Diggs booked him a room
Oh, yeah.
down in Cancun.
Cancun.
There's no other way that was going to happen. Like,
Yeah.
I still cannot believe the the decision to just go on a rampage on
Yeah.
Twitter. I think the Chiefs were all over it, and they're
Oh, yeah.
all over Instagram Live smoking
Yeah.
some cigars out for Eli Apple. Safe travels down to
Yeah.
Cancun.
Brittany Mahomes, his wife, even got in on the action, who has been eerily
Cancun on
quiet.
3.
Yeah.
Which I will say, I'm pretty sure she's doing like peace, like see
Yeah.
ya.
This is true.
But it's absolutely hysterical to say
It is
Cancun on
funny.
3 and have 2. That is objectively hilarious.
It
But
is
I do
funny.
think she was going for the
She,
peace, like
still
see ya.
savage. Still savage.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But okay, so Eli Apple. Let's talk about Travis Kelsey and his post
Second
game.
round of applause, Travis Kelsey.
Another if you if you miss this, like how'd you find our podcast? Just singing "You Got to Fight for Your Right to Party," just being typical Travis Kelsey, and then calling out the Cincinnati mayor. I just had to get this quote.
Well, first off, do you have the quote of the mayor?
I do not. So
Okay, I mean,
fill our
I don't
listeners
have
in.
the exact quote, but basically what he said was that I'm officially counting whatever day. What was it? The 30th. Or the 29th, or no, 30th, because he assumed they win. I think he said today we're recording on the 30th, so January 30th, 2023 was going to be Joe Burrow Day,
Yeah.
and that the Bengals, who are 3-0 against the Chiefs, are going to Burrowhead. And he also said that he is issuing a need for Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes to take a paternity test because Joe Burrow is his father.
Yep.
So some pretty heavy words, some pretty stark words out of the
savage
Cincinnati mayor. And
Travis Kelsey comes back after they win. I've got some wise words for that Cincinnati mayor. Know your role and shut your mouth, you jabroni.
Well said. Just mic drop.
Perfect.
Mic drop.
And then obviously we see post game interview with Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey, of course, being his post game antics. He was on a roll last night. Bro had my ass. Funny guy.
Like I'm all in for shit talk. Like talk your shit, but if you lose, you have to know it's gonna come back at you.
Yeah,
like,
and I do want to give the Cincinnati mayor props. I want to give Mayor Aftab Purvel. Sorry if I butchered that name, but he comes back after. Yep, deserved that.
Yeah, right away. Totally deserved it.
Yeah,
totally deserved it. I want him, if he's a true, a true man who owns up to his mistakes, he will put his name on the next ballot as Mayor Jabroni.
Mayor Jabroni.
Mayor Jabroni. Or
Dude, he'd win by a landslide.
Yeah, dude, or he'll get like a new name tag on his desk that says
Mayor Jabroni.
Mayor Jabroni.
You know what would be awesome? Kelsey orders him a jersey and puts Jabroni on the bag.
Now, if you were to do that, would it be a Bengals jersey or would it be a Chiefs jersey?
Oh, it's got to be a Chiefs jersey.
Jabroni on the bag.
Jabroni on the bag.
That's good. That's quality.
Yeah,
I mean, anyone's ordered that. Surely
I'm
those
sure.
jerseys are selling.
I'm sure Barstool Sports has a shirt that says Jabroni. I'm sure.
I don't know if anyone's made a jersey that says
Surely.
Jabroni on the back.
Surely. Someone had to.
Beautiful. Second round of applause of the episode.
Yeah.
Goes,
a lot of applause.
Third, but second person to Travis Kelsey.
truly is a great episode, I
Yeah,
gotta
dude.
say.
I tell you what, the
For,
amount of winners and losers we could have had between,
I know.
we had one within the Bengals locker room. We had one each, and not to mention Stetson Bennett got arrested
Yeah,
the other day. So that's
this is
another
true.
opportunity for a loser. I mean, it's ripe with them. Eli
Yeah,
Apple being an
Eli
absolute Eli
Apple.
Apple also being
A
a
lot more
jabroni.
losers.
A lot of losers. A lot of
But
losers.
any final thoughts on this Cincy KC
Look,
game?
I just really hope that this will put to bed this ridiculous, Burrow is Brady, Mahomes
Yeah,
is
that was
Peyton
weird.
Manning. I mean, I guess I get the reasoning of Burrow is the winner, but it's pretty weird to have Burrow as the winner when he hasn't won a
One.
Super
This
Bowl
is
and
true.
Mahomes has.
Yeah.
Um, really, really strange. I just wish people didn't need to go back in the past for something and just realize that, holy crap, both of these quarterbacks are really, really good. Both of these teams are really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention you got Buffalo, who still got something to say about their elite role in the AFC. So I mean, those three teams and
Yeah.
those three quarterbacks really should be the class of the AFC, and watching them duke it out every year in the
Yeah.
playoffs should be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. I always thought that was weird. But yeah, one thing I kind of want to mention before we kind of wrap this episode up is let's not act like Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs played a tremendous game.
Right, right. I mean, I still think they were the better
Oh,
team.
absolutely.
And Patrick Mahomes, whoa, Patrick Mahomes was on one foot.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, what else do you need to see from this guy?
Yeah, exactly. One arm.
One
That's
arm,
what I need
yeah,
to see.
yeah. But also, it's funny you mentioned that because that brings me back. Reggie Bush took to Twitter after the whole thing happened with in the San Francisco game, and
Yeah.
basically said, "This is the NFC Championship game. I don't care if you have a boo boo. You have to go and play."
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, Reginald Bush. It's he also cited that Mahomes was able to tough it out and
Yeah.
play the rest of his game. You can throw a football on one leg. Can't really throw a
It's
football
true.
with one arm. It's very difficult to do that. And he even more looks like more of a clown now that it's come out that he has a torn UCL. That's a
Yeah.
pretty serious injury. Best case scenario, it's a 6-month recovery.
Yeah.
So, yeah, take your L, another loser on
Yeah.
this
There you
episode
go.
of losers.
Yeah. I mean, crazy crazy ending to conference championship weekend, but yeah, Mahomes was incredible.
Y- You know, the best way to put it, I'll put it to you this way: going into the season, there were four, I think four. I'm going to roll with four big name wide receivers moved,
Yeah.
traded. First off, in the draft, AJ Brown got traded from the Titans to the Eagles. Look what happened to the Titans. They were the 1 seed last year.
Yeah.
They were the 1 seed in the AFC last year. So look what happened to their season. Look what happened to Tannehill's production. I know Tannehill got hurt, but he was nowhere near as good as he was last year. Now, Devontae Adams. Look what happened to the Packers season.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
were the 1 seed in the NFC. Look
Mm-hmm.
what happened to their record. Look what happened to Rodgers' output.
Yeah.
Right? Didn't even make the playoffs. Third name, Amari Cooper. I don't know if you want to call him wide receiver 1 in Dallas or
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb, but 1A, 1B scenario.
Yeah.
And Amari Cooper was traded over to Cleveland. And look what happened to Dak's here. We
Mm-hmm.
talked at length. You talked about
Yeah.
how Dak needs to be better. He needs to, take care of the football better. Every single quarterback who lost a main target
Struggle.
regressed. And
Yeah.
but Patrick Mahomes lost Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
He's like
Probably the best out of I'd say actually I don't think it's even a question. He was the best out of the receivers
this
you
year he
mentioned.
was the best.
Yeah.
I think if you're talking about who would you rather have on your team, I think I would probably take Devontae.
Yeah.
But still, like
This-
it's an argument.
this
He
is
was
true.
the best player this year out of any of those who were moved.
Yeah.
And Patrick Mahomes lost that production, and he's going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. It's truly incredible. But that wraps it up for the conference championship. We're heading to Pro Bowl.
Heading to the Pro Bowl, baby. You hear that? The big bowl happening after this weekend is the Pro Bowl. Make
Elite.
sure place your bets, place your tickets. Who will win the dodgeball
Dodgeball.
game? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
big stuff coming out of the NFL.
Yeah. God, it's so bad. So
It's
bad.
unfortunate, dude.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, and they try to mimic what the NBA or MLB does with their home run derbies and their dunk contest,
Yeah.
3 point contest, with all these other games like they had like the accuracy challenge for
Yeah.
quarterbacks throwing, and they had the dodgeball. They had a one where the wide receivers had to they brought a football up on a drone,
Yeah.
and whoever caught the highest ball won. And I even think one time they did like a where there was a quarterback throwing, and then there was like a defensive back, literally like a handball goalie, like trying to
Yeah.
block the ball from going in.
Nice.
Like, what are we doing?
I have an idea, Tanner.
Let's
So
hear it.
we just get rid of the Pro Bowl and we take the worst NFL team, right?
Okay.
And then you take either a USFL or a XFL team. They battle it out, and
Okay. So
if
relegation
yeah,
scenario. Like,
yeah. Tell me you wouldn't
okay,
tune into
hold on. So
that.
I assume the worst team will be whoever has the one pick.
Yeah,
In this case, the Bears. They would play,
yeah,
and then if the US or XFL team, whatever,
yeah,
beats them, they get their first round pick.
yeah,
So CJ Stroud could be playing for like the St. Louis Battlehawks
yeah.
or something. Dude, I think we figured. Hold on. I got it. I've got it. The USFL and XFL All Stars, the All
Yes.
Stars
Oh
of the two,
yes. I like
plays
it.
the
I like it.
anti NFL stars. So like Zach Wilson at
Oh,
quarterback,
nice,
like
nice.
the entire Bears offensive line. The wide receivers will be like, I don't know who are the worst
Yeah.
wide receivers. The Packers wide receivers. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
minus Christian Watson, but like
Yeah.
just get the worst players who perform the worst,
Yeah.
and you
I
have the
like it.
anti Pro Bowlers versus the actual Pro
Yeah.
Bowlers for the USFL and the XFL. And
I
that is
like it.
must see
I
TV.
like it. I
I'm
like it.
watching that.
Yeah.
I'm watching that.
See, we have two options for Goodell.
Yeah, Goodell. Crunch time _ pod. DMs are open. We
DMs
can
are
figure
open.
it out. Okay, we can figure it out.
I like it. I
I
would
think so
tune
too.
into both of those situations.
What's that?
I'd tune into
Yeah,
both.
totally. That is awesome,
There could be both. You ever thought of that?
dude. Why not?
Why not?
Why not? The problem is, I feel like the worst team in the NFL would have a lot of the anti Pro Bowlers.
This is true.
So that might be a kind of
This is
the
true.
3 games in one weekend
That's
kind of a
fine.
thing. Yeah,
Built diffy.
they're obviously not.
Yeah,
The worst
built
team in the
differently
NFL.
bad.
Built poorly.
Built poorly. There you go. But dude, I really like that.
Seriously,
I think we're
seriously,
onto
Goodell.
something there.
DMs are open.
I'll tweet this at him. Don't worry. But that will wrap it up for a great episode. I gotta say, episode 81 of Crunch Time with the N326 Duo. Congrats, you have made it to the end of the episode. So shout out to you. Let us know what you thought of the NFL Conference Championships. Was the refs as bad as we're saying, or were they decent at best? And let us know what your winners and losers would have been of this episode. We named a lot, so there's a lot of options out there. But meanwhile, you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Goodell, listen loud and
Listen to this
clear right
part,
here
yeah.
at crunchtime_pod, Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter. So that's how you can get in contact with us. Or I mean, if you just want to make a public comment on our YouTube channel,
That works.
and as long as you're there, you might as well like and subscribe to this awesome YouTube channel, Crunch Time with the N326 Duo as well. But with that, the clock has run out on this episode, but we'll see you on the next one on Crunch Time.
Let's go, Chiefs.